Welcome to One Word a Day. I'm Sophie, your pilot into the universe of Chinese. Last month, we talked about animal characters. So logically, this month I have to do plant. We start with grass, 草 in Chinese. And as you can see, it's made of three things. These simplified from these. So these I call it the trident looking thing, are grass blades. You can imagine it as a grass blade pointing, like a sun facing upward pointing grass blades. And that's the character. And it normally comes in multitudes. So it's not just one of them. We have to pair two of them at least to show they comes in clusters in nature. And as a Chinese characterization of a typical plant, sun facing upward going. Okay. And then the middle part is the sun symbol, which you look, it doesn't look like a sun, right? It's an oval shape. That's the reason because we are vertically stacking up three icons together, and we are going to run out of space if everything is keeping its original truthful representation in nature. So the sun symbol, if by itself, would come more closer to in a spherical shape. And then horizontal line means the energy from the sun. Energetic ball, that's Chinese definition of the sun. Okay, the bottom is a popping moment. So this horizontal line in there doesn't mean energy anymore. It's simplification of the seed inside the pot. And this vertical line is depicting the motion or direction of the motion, which is going to pop outside from inside the pot to the outside. So Chinese have this directional thing showing in here. So this pod popping paired with sun together, they create a concept of early. And just like big, small means bigger, smaller than, we start to think in absolute terms. My theory is all the absolute terms actually came originally from the relative terms. Because we live in the same context long enough that we forget about the context. And then we take things as absolute. It's always been so. So just like big and small, we no longer think in bigger than smaller than terms. It's become big and small. To our mind, it's a subconscious comparison to some norm, right? So this early, again, is a comparison of what we regard as right in time. And this is in comparison to the time market, which is an abstract thing, right? Probably midday. And this would be depicted as earlier than the midday. And how Chinese express that? By pairing the sun symbol and the seed popping moment. And my theory is the seed pops most likely in the morning because of a temperature change, right? From nighttime, night air is cold to the sun heating on this pot. And that's the moment when the hot air inside the pot is going to explode, pop it open. So seed popping and the sun, this together mark the timing of the things, which is early in the morning. Okay, early in the morning paired with two grass symbols or two plant, generic plant symbols together, it means grass. And I'm thinking like attach it back to how the icon was created, the seed popping and the sun. Like these are, the sun is the living environment of the grass, right? The first thing, environmental thing for the grass to grow. It has to do this what's it called? A photosynthesis thing, right? So that's plant. And then this seed popping it's a reproductive action for it to continue its species, right? So these two biological or environmental conditions for the grass, the plant to exist. So Chinese capture these, like how it looks, how environmentally and biologically this grass thing operates. That gives us a clue that that's the grass. Okay, anyways, expressions in grass related is grassroots. which is a translation from English. And we know that means not upside down, but no, bottom up. Okay, the movement is from bottom up. So there you go. That's a good cross-cultural self-projection already. Similar English and the Chinese, we do that the same. Grassroots means from the people, from everyday people, not from authorities or royalty in the English context. But 草民 is a Chinese way to mark everyday people. Min means people. With grass people means we regard ourselves in at least two dimensions. You can read. Grass means it's multitudes, right? It's a whole cluster. So probably in the kingdom of plants, grass has the most head count. They are smaller in size, but they are, their scale is in the sense of there are multitudes of them. There are probably way more grass than trees, right? And that's one, the multitudes. People against the ruling class, like they are the base of the population. They takes most of the percentage of the population. So that's one. And two, 草, compared with wood, in value, in terms of how long it takes to grow that tall, right? Of a tree, like how much energy it takes to grow a tree versus a grass, which have a shorter life cycle and probably require less energy from the sun, and it kind of more relatable to the everyday people, that we don't have like this astonishing height of achievement in life, and we come and go fast and unnoticed, like grass. All right, anyways, that's 草根 grassroot versus 草民 grass people. Is this English Chinese, like both provide evidence of how humans relate to grass. Okay, 草草收场 is totally different thing. So that means it's still chaotic, still messy, still not nicely, surface cleaned, and then 收场, like you come to a closure in such a 草草 way. So I guess the 草草also relate to how grass would look. It's untrimmed, so it's more in its natural wild form. So 草草收场 would be you finish something still somewhat in its wild form. You didn't trim it, prune it, package it neatly. Too much artificial, touch from you, but you've done it. Basically, the reason why 草草收场 is you're rushed. You don't have enough time to finish in a glamorous high note way, but you finish still with 草, grass lying around as if it's still in this original unkept way. So that's 草. And I want to show you this morning sun, and then we can imagine tiny little pots popping in this moment, and that's grass blades showing. So this whole picture, this photo, is an illustration of what grass visually looks to Chinese culture and how we represent. It really comes from nature. There's nothing fancy about it. I would imagine for an alien coming to Earth, that would be very reasonable visual 2D frame visual representation of grass. All right, there you go. 草. Thank you for your time. See you another day.